Um, Another one, Dylan, that I think is really detrimental is the idea that nobody buys product anymore
True.
and that everything's free. And artists have really kind of given up they've left a lot of money on the table by just believing the myth is that, oh, nobody buys product anymore.
Yeah,
Nobody buys music, and it's really kind of horseshit. What
definitely.
they do buy is experiences.
Yeah.
And some of those are silver discs, some of those are T-shirts, some of those are bundles. There's a lot of different way to build experiences,
Vinyl's
but
making a huge resurgence.
huge resurgence. And what you find is that artists are out there just competing for free. There's fake awards, faux numbers. Oh, I got some likes on this thing, and it's like, okay, that's whizzy, that's great. But what you want to do is create a product suite around what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's the idea of inputs drive outputs. When you sell three things, you have three inputs, and those can convert into three purchases. But when you have those seven inputs can convert to the outputs. So you don't want to just have no products, because then you have no outputs. You have no way of monetizing and building revenue around your business.
Yeah.
So it really kind of tricks artists into competing for free and kind of what's called vanity metrics, where you're just talking about likes and, you know, social metrics, which are good. They're fine, but revenue beats likes every day of the week.
Absolutely. And even beyond the revenue, just being able to give the fans something to hold on to is
Yeah.
really underrated and important, I feel.
Yeah.
Um,
Fans want to buy and support and experience the
yeah.
artists they care about most more than ever before.
Yeah.
And now
Like even,
that global reach is so easy because everything's online. It's like the better way to think of that is like you're the CEO of your business, the chief experience officer. You need to come up with ways for your fans to experience you.
yes.
And you
So
need to
even,
try some shit. Some things will fail and go flat, and that's okay. But you want to be testing things and figuring out the ways, the experience officer of your company, to build products, to build a product suite around you as an artist.
exactly.
Um,
So
so
even if you're not,
that's a big myth.
yeah.
The idea that nobody buys product anymore.
Yeah, because even if you're not like a super successful artist with all this revenue to throw at your music to make it better, just simple things like buttons, $5 t-shirts, stickers, they can make a big difference in your branding and
Mm-hmm.
giving your fans more to feel a part of what you're doing.
Yeah,
I've seen bands that maybe had only played one or two shows, but they brought out some stickers or a t-shirt, and I see people
love
still
it.
wearing those nowadays, even though they might have
Yeah,
only played like one or two shows. They're like, man, that was a great show though, and I had this
yeah,
thing to bring home from it.
yeah,
So if you can really do that at an early stage and keep working on that and, you know, turn
yeah,
that into something and use that as a platform for your music, it can really do a lot for your branding.
yeah. No, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, the sooner you can inputs drive outputs. So when you have, whether they're stickers or buttons or pins or whatever,
Yeah.
you want to be thinking about price points eventually,
Mhm.
because stickers and buttons are, $5 price points, $10
It's
price
to
points
start. Yeah.
to start, right? But you want to be thinking about, okay, here's our 10, 20, 40, 60, 100, 200, $400 price points,
Yeah.
um, in your product suite. And you don't get there immediately,
No.
but you pattern after people that have gone before you and that are doing it right. You want to be studying. It's the idea of one person's hindsight is the next person's foresight.
Yeah.
So you want to be patterning after people who have done this and get this,
Yeah, like
for
I
sure.
some of my favorite artists, I haven't really bought much of their music because nowadays you don't there's not a whole lot of reasons to buy physical copies. I think I only have one of their CDs, but I
Right.
have like a sweater, a t-shirt,
Right.
poster, all this stuff that I've spent hundreds of dollars more on
Right.
these physical things
Keyword
that I can have.
keyword is more. You
Exactly.
you could have bought 200 CDs
Yeah,
in
like
place of the merch bundle, but you spent
exactly.
more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I only ever really wanted that one CD that I have, but
Yeah.
there's so much more that they have to offer that I've been like, oh, I'll get that, I'll get that. And partially just because I want to support them and because I knew that I couldn't really do that by buying their CDs all the time because they don't have all this music to offer.
Yeah.
But they do
It's a
have
way for
a
you to
really nice
experience
brand.
in them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
If you're
I
into
can,
them,
yeah,
I want all the widgets. I don't want just
yeah,
like the pins. I want the pricier widgets.
yeah.
And something else kind of tying into that, Dylan, is like we're doing this with a number of artists. Now we're doing a subscription model to where people
Mm.
subscribe and they get the music for free.
Yeah.
So whether it's a $20 a month subscription or $60 a month subscription, they get different experience. Like they get all the merch and the experiences in the $60 a month, and then they get fewer on down the price points. But that's something that we're really excited about. We're seeing really great results because you're making money every month at that point.
Yeah.
And you just give them like, look, we're going to release X amount of releases this year, and you're going to get them all
Hmm.
before they're physically available in the world. So
Yeah.
people feel like, oh man, that's great. I get it a month early, and I get to support the artists. I'm in.
Yeah. Not
So the
only do they
subscription
feel,
model. No, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
yeah, not only do they feel like they're part of something, but it also, I forgot what else I was going to say.
Yeah, the revenue, the reoccurring revenue is
Yeah.
definitely
There you go.
important for strengthening and supporting artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They not only feel like they're part of something, but it gives them uh, a way to actually support the artist because they want to support the artist, but
right. And here's the thing:
how?
like, if you're the chief experience officer for your company, it's up to you to find out what those experiences are.
Hmm.
Do they want, the sweater bundle up here for $80, or do they want, a more intimate VIP connection with you? So you really have to kind of figure out what those price points are and those bundles are.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna what works for one artist. Their fans are very different. Their music is very different. The artist is different.
Yeah.
So you really can't. One size doesn't fit all. Like you really have to try and figure out, okay, what are those experiences and those price points that work for you.
Yeah.
Does
There's
that make
no,
sense?
yeah, there's no one size fit all. And
Yeah, I mean, you
every,
can't just steal Sheryl Crow's merch bundle because
yeah,
it works
you
for
can,
Sheryl Crow,
you can
right?
be inspired by her business model though and be like, okay, well, she does this kind of t-shirt
Yeah,
every time. And so like, yeah, there's a lot of, you have to know your audience. You built your own audience. And
that's
so
right.
nobody's going to know them better than you. You
Yep.
have to really
Yeah.
spend that time thinking about, okay, what kind of things are the people that support me going to want to buy? And not just
Yeah.
buy,
A Coheed and
how can I,
Cambria audience is
yeah,
very different than a Sheryl Crow audience.
yeah. And not just
So
like what can they buy, but how can I make them more feel part of what I'm doing? Because that's
exactly,
what a lot
they're
of
kind
music
of the
is
same
about.
thing.
Yeah,
What you're doing, you're giving them positive touch points, ways to touch you, right?
yes,
And
yes,
those touch points, maybe a T-shirt, maybe a bundle, it might be a signed guitar, it might be a monthly subscription thing. Though that's the way they feel like they're touching you,
hmm,
right? Um, so yeah. I think they're connected. The product itself and that touch point, they're two sides to the same coin. I think.
absolutely. The way
Yeah,
you market your product is a huge part of your business.
yeah. So that's a big myth. The myth that nobody buys product anymore definitely
Mhm.
has to get a pin and pop that, and pull that out of your brain, and replace it with the healthier idea of like you're the chief experience officer of your company, and you need to build those products that work for you.